Alright, so I saw this video by Honest Guy, and I kind of just wanted to give my opinion on it. I might stop the video throughout. But anyway, yeah, I just kind of wanted to make this video. If you don't know who Honest Guy is, he's just a dude who I think is really kind of, I don't know. I feel like he's worrying about absolutely nothing, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit. So yeah, here we go.
Okay, today I just want to talk about, you know, I feel like the black pill and Christianity aren't actually that much different. I just don't think they're that much different. Hear me out, okay? Both Christianity and the black pill acknowledge human nature, acknowledge sin, acknowledge what people want to do versus what they should do, etc., you know? But here's where the big difference comes in, though, between the black pill and Christianity. The black pill basically tells you to give up, it basically tells you it's over, stop it, just give up, might as well, and if you do get the opportunity to become better looking, to have more success in life, just indulge in basic pleasure, don't really do much to, avoid sin or anything. Whereas Christianity preaches, you know, try to spread Christianity, try to guide people away from human nature to do what is godly, you know, and you try to find somebody who is also godly, who will also abstain from sinful behavior, such as meaningless sex, such as dating people only for their money, only dating attractive people if they don't have enough money, etc. You know? So basically, the black pill and Christianity, they believe the same things, but their approach to how you should solve the problems is different.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, he's pretty much right about that. Of course, that's kind of an oversimplification of Christianity, but it's he, in relating it to the black pill, he's pretty much I think spot on. Which I think is probably a good thing for him, because I mean, really, if you think about it, if you surround yourself with you know like-minded people, if you become Christian and you start surrounding yourself with like-minded people, honestly, it doesn't even matter if you're, how old is this guy? 17? Which, okay, I'm gonna get into that in a second because he's just 17. But like, anyway, it doesn't matter how old you are and if you're a, kissless virgin or whatever, because it doesn't matter in that environment. Now, after a certain point, you kind of gotta wonder, why is this guy, however old, say you're like over the age of 25, maybe that's when it starts to get a little concerning. Um, because at that point, you're a young man, you should, you know, start getting busy, you should try and start looking for a partner or something, but even in that environment, after a certain point it gets to be a little suspicious. Uh, but again, like you can, uh, let me think for a second. Yeah, even in that environment, it gets suspicious. So I mean, but again, your chances are going to be a lot better in that environment than if you are just like going through the typical motions of, I don't know, going to bars or freaking using dating apps or whatever, trying to meet people online. Because again, you're trying to intermingle with the average. You're trying to intermingle with like people who don't care about people who only care, women who only care about like money and looks and whatnot. So at that point, uh, your chances immediately increase the moment you join a semi-large church, because at that point you're already in a community. It's literally how like people have found partners all throughout history. You have a small community that you're a part of. You basically already know everybody there, you know, and then eventually either you meet someone or someone sets up something for you. You talk. You either hit it off or you don't, and then you try again. but nothing of value. Like you're not humiliated, and people don't want to humiliate you because that's someone who's part of your community, you know. So the modern church, well, okay, certain churches are obviously still microcosms and things holding on to that old fashioned kind of deal. Uh, but one thing that you don't want to do, and this dude lives in, I think he lives in Michigan. I think he said at one point, in one of his other videos. I don't know, but basically the issue with that is so so where I'm from, there's a lot of Baptist churches, right? And there's some Catholic churches. There's some, there's a lot of churches where I'm at. The problem though is that once a church kind of gets, well, once like Christianity or whatever becomes so casual and just like nonchalant and so normalized in your culture, it becomes diluted, and you don't get that same valuable community that you would if it's rarer and a lot smaller. You know what I mean? Because I mean, surprisingly enough, it kind of might seem surprising, but like honestly, there are so many girls who identify themselves as Christian or whatever, and they're not. They kind of just do everything else. They kind of just do whatever. Uh, Everyone else is doing. They're literally no different from any other girl you would find in a bar or nightclub. Like, I hate to be that harsh, but it's true. Um, Another thing is, what was I gonna say? They're gonna okay. So they identify themselves. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, another thing with a much smaller, less casualized Christian form of Christianity is the fact that the girls are actually going to be even more traditional than the ones in a casualized, um, diluted Christian like environment. Um, so again, you want to find a very small, very dedicated group of people, so that one, your community is tight and valuable, and people value you, despite your circumstances, and the people are going to be of higher quality. So do not join a megachurch. Honestly, if I were you, I would try and join an Orthodox church. Um, yeah, so that's just something that I wanted to point out there. I know I talked for frickin' forever, but I'm just gonna play the video a little bit.
You know, again, Blackpill says to just give up and to indulge in human nature. Cope in any way you want, unless it's porn, obviously. Whereas Christianity tells you to try to stay as far away from that as possible. Get into a community of people who will support you, who are godly, who will help you away from sin. You know, and try to
That's another thing I didn't mention. Yeah, he that's another thing I didn't mention what he just said.
spread the word to try to get people away from human nature. You know, that's what basically Christianity does. You know. All right, so now is the part where I tell you guys my backstory, and just the way my mental state is right now. So I personally am pretty much black pilled myself. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am 17 years old. I am a kissless virgin.
Okay, this guy is 17 years old, and he's already like just freaking neck deep in this crap. I've seen some other ones of his videos, and I seriously don't think he has anything to worry about at all. Um, you know, Historically, it used to be that people at 17 years old were getting married, and having children and everything. And now that's not happening. Um, but I seriously just don't like. Okay, there are more quote kissless virgins or whatever at 17 than you would think. Honestly, um, it's really not that crazy. It's not that concerning. Again, once you get on up there, once you get up to like 20, age 25, maybe even over age 23, it kind of gets little iffy, a little suspicious. Okay, but again, bro is 17 years old. He's still in high school, and I seriously don't think he has anything to worry about. Uh, he seems pretty well spoken and matured, and honestly, that might come off as a little bit uh, that might be a little off-putting to the average normie, because they all speak in Ebonics anyway, so you know that might be a little bit no go for some people. But again, like anyone who's worth attracting, anyone who's worth talking to, anyone who's worth dating, won't mind that and will actually find it more attractive. So I seriously just think that maybe he's trying to approach the wrong people. I don't know, dude. But nobody who's worth talking to is going to frickin' care about your history. Unless obviously you put off some kind of creepo aura, you know. Because in this day and age, virgin doesn't mean oh they just have never had a partner, you know. Virgin means oh he's a creepo porn addict. That's the connotation that virgin these days carries, which is unfortunate. But honestly, it's the truth. Like nowadays, if you are a virgin, you are a creepo porn addict, like in most cases. So it's an unfortunate change in wording, unfortunate change in definition of that word, but it's got some truth behind it. So honestly, you probably don't want to identify. And even if you are, like, just don't identify with it. Just don't call yourself that. Just say you've never had a partner, you know? Because at that point, you're shedding that negative, disgusting connotation. So, just something to think about, I guess.
I have never really held hands with a girl or anything like that. Never kissed a girl, never really been touched sexually by a girl, anything like that. So,
Again, I still don't think he has anything to worry about. Another thing, again, this is common. This is not that freaking rare. You might look around and see everybody around you in high school, just like, ooh, like sucking the face or whatever, uh, and stuff. But I mean, honestly, if you just, it doesn't matter. It seriously just okay. If you're under the age of 20, it doesn't matter. Don't freaking worry about it because that's just putting more freaking stress on you than you already need. You know.
yeah. You know, basically, at this point, I've pretty much just given up. I've given up because this has been something I've stressed out about for years. Ever since I was 13, I was always stressed about, losing my virginity.
Every 13-year-old is stressed out about this, dude. You're not special.
Before it was normal. Before it was too late, and now it is too late. I'm 17, still a touchless, kissless virgin. You know, at this point, I feel like it's just over for me.
Okay, so that's another thing. Mindset is actually very strong, and people, I feel like people underestimate the value of having a good mindset. The fact that he has already quote given up is problematic, you know, because at that point he's already determined in his mind it's never gonna happen, and so it won't. Okay, I think I really do believe that your mindset has a very, very, very strong impact on your actions. If you have a good mindset, you're going to subconsciously make the best decisions. I think, if you subconsciously want something, you're going to like if you really want something and have a goal in mind, you're subconsciously going to make the decisions that lead you to that goal. So if you have a mindset of, oh, I'm giving up, I'm just going to die alone, well, you probably are, honestly, because again, you're going to make subconscious decisions and have subconscious like visual or body cues and language cues that are just fundamentally unattractive, and you don't want to walk around, you don't want to talk to a dude who walks around with his head down and just mopes around like, ooh, ooh, it's over, ooh, it's just, you don't do that. Honestly, the best thing to do in this situation, especially because you are so young, is just quit freaking worrying about it. That's what you do. That is literally what you do. So, again, like I just said, this dude doesn't have anything to worry about. So, yeah.
Me. I mean, girls who I've never even seen before glare at me in school hallways. They glare at me in public. It's like they don't even know who I am. You could tell me it's my social skills or my personality all you want, but
Okay, again, I think he's paranoid. I seriously think he's paranoid. Dude is like regular looking. He probably doesn't like talk to people in school. Okay, and if he walks around the hallways just head straight ahead, looking straight ahead, and he's just like, I'm just a dude in school. Why would anyone freaking glare at you? Because you haven't done anything, dog. I don't know, bro. Maybe it does happen. I can't really discredit his experiences. Um, and if they do glare at you, I'm sorry, dude. At that point, I don't even know what to say. Uh, Honestly, dude. Again, it's the whole mindset thing. If you have a crappy mindset and you just like mope around, obviously people are gonna look at you and kind of just like, you know. Uh, but again, like why would anyone have any reason to glare at you? I think you might be overthinking things. You know, I don't know.
there's no way that not personality, obviously, looks doesn't go into this to some degree. There's no way I'm not being negatively affected by being ugly. And I know what all the people in my comment sections are gonna tell me. All the guys, they're gonna be like, "Well, you don't look that bad. Oh, I bet you just posted this so people are gonna make comments boosting your ego, dude." You know,
Okay, so this guy, he has a history of being pretty schizo. I'm just gonna be frank with you. He has a history of being pretty schizo and just like kind of paranoid about stuff. And honestly, I don't think that anyone who says you don't look that bad um, doesn't mean it. Because he doesn't look that bad. He just looks like a normal kid, dude. He just looks like a normal kid. I look worse than he does. Uh, I've got like a low sitting brow. I've got a unibrow. I've got fat lips. I'm skinny. I've got acne. He doesn't seem to have any acne on his face, maybe a little around his mouth, but again, that's freaking normal for somebody his age, you know? Um, like I look objectively worse than he does. Um, you know, I've got long hair, which that can be fixed. But anyway, no, but like, dude, you seriously don't have anything to worry about. You're 17. You're in high school. You look normal. You know, you're skinny. Okay, which is already a plus. You know, I was like freaking 90 pounds up until I was 15 or something. So, like, you look like you're healthy skinny. I was unhealthy skinny. You know, so dude, I seriously don't even think you have anything to worry about. I just seriously do not. You do not look that bad. Fix your freaking hair for one. The buzz cut, just like it's so unbelievably basic that it makes you just look like a robot. So once your hair grows out, get a different haircut. But I freaking promise you. Oh, your previous videos where you had that long hair that was just like side parted. Okay, also don't do that ever again. That looks like crap. Okay, don't ever do that ever again. But find something that suits you, and literally you'll be okay. Okay, another thing. Get a style. Because every single video I've seen, you kind of just wear the basic, like, um, hoodie and, like, running, like, basketball shorts, or, like, you know, some basic ass, like, barely matches frickin' style. Um, find a style, find like an actual style that suits you. You know. Uh, what else was I gonna say? Oh, the boosting your ego thing. You know, again, this is the schizo coming through. Um, I seriously think that you read into stuff way too much, dude. Like 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 I saw dude. I saw you on Lomax's Discord, and you like saw a dude, and like you immediately like so you accused him of being some dude who was trying to get you arrested, which I saw that live stream, I think, but so I don't know the whole story, but at the same time he was just trying to help you, and you were like, oh, and you left the server, dude. I don't get it, bruh. I feel like you just you read too much into stuff, and it freaking makes you paranoid, and as a result, again, this contributes to your mindset.
Shit like that. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, okay? I actually am treated horribly. Where where I live, girls have just yelled at me for no reason. Yelled, just, you know, girls.
So again, I can't invalidate your personal experiences. I don't know if this is true or not, but if it is, I need you to tell stories about this, because this is this makes the situation a lot deeper, than I think any of us realize. But the fact that you're just mentioning this without any sort of proof or any sort of like, and I'm not one of the trust the science. I'm not one of those chuds, but one of those retards. But like at the same time, you have to have some sort of believable story, um, that we can go back and look at to say, okay, yeah, this guy has been treated absolutely horrible. So if you do have like stories that you can remember, uh, share those.
Who I thought were my friends, they over time just got pissed off at me. I've been yelled at in public multiple times. You know, there was this one girl who even yelled at me for making comments on her appearance because I said that her hair was blonde or something.
Again, I don't think that any girl would would yell at someone if you said, "Yes, your hair is blonde." She would say, "Yeah, it is. Thank you," or whatever, and they just kind of look at you strange and just keep walking. I don't think that any girl would like, "Your hair is blonde." Ah! Ah! Shut up! You're creepy. No one would do that, bruh. So again, you gotta post stories, because I don't really believe you.
You know, that she's trying to make me look like a pervert in front of the whole class, and like we were friends before that. I thought everything was going fine. And there's no way that looks doesn't go into this to some degree. There's no way. There's no way that my looks and being not really the most attractive guy isn't negatively affecting me.
I mean, he's not, again, like, okay, obviously he's not freaking like super Giga Chad, Hunter Eyes, whatever, whatever. But again, he's pretty normal looking. He looks like a normal dude.
I live in a wealthy white community. So, where I come from, most people are tall, most people are wealthy. I'm guessing the median income where I live is maybe like 200,000 a year, which is like off the charts. It's like unless you're like in the entertainment industry or doing something for the government, how the hell are you making that much money? Anyway, I digress.
So here's another thing that, some people like to toy around with the idea of, and some people wholeheartedly believe this. Me personally, I'm on the fence. Is what was it, like, physiognomy, genetic determinism stuff? Where if you look better, you're going to just live a better life. Your circumstances are going to be better, and you are going to do better in life. Now, to a degree, I think that that's definitely true, because we have psychological evidence. We have scientific evidence. Again, not one of those trust the science guys, but again, you kind of have to, give it some merit. Uh, is that we literally do treat attractive people better than we do unattractive people. So there's no way that that doesn't have any sort of effect in our society. And the tall white giga is Hyperborean giga chads that he's talking about live in his community. You know, maybe just out on a limb here, maybe their looks does kind of play into it somehow. I'm not doubting that, you know, but like again, I still just don't think he has much to worry about. He's just a normal looking dude, you know. Honestly, I can't judge where he would fall in our society, but he just looks normal. Like I again, I don't think that he has much to worry about at all.
Most people have blonde hair and blue eyes. I have brown hair, as you can tell. I mean, there's a little bit of blonde at the corners, but
In his older videos, it's kind of more like a dark blonde, dark reddish blonde a little bit. Um, I think that he's saying it's brown just to seem a little more, I don't know, uh, unattractive or whatever to justify what he's saying.
you know, still mostly brown, you know. And you can't see it through my sunglasses, but my eyes are green, you know. Kind of the exact opposite of the most desired phenotype.
Okay, but at least they're not brown.
I'm also 5'8".
Okay, that's another kind of an issue. But again, the average height for a male in America is 5'10", so you're not even that much, not that far off from the average. And honestly, you're still 17. You're probably just still not even done growing.
Or if you want to be very exact about it, 5'7 3/4". You know,
That's the autism shining through.
so where I live, compared to all the other white people, because almost everybody around me is either white or Asian, pretty much only white, if I'm being honest here. But I'm basically just a genetic failure compared to them.
He's not a genetic failure. If you were a genetic failure, you would have Down syndrome, bro.
You know, so yeah, you know, and I was pretty much screwed from the start. Let's be honest here. My dad is 5'4.5". He claims that his
Okay, if your dad is 5'4.5", that is genuine freaking proof that you don't have anything to worry about since you're almost 4 inches taller than he is, and he was able to obviously find a mate and reproduce to make you, and you're 4 inches taller than he is. So again, if he has a chance, so do you.
peak
Oh, right. Okay, he's gonna talk about how you know, back in his dad's day, you could be different or whatever.
when he was young, because he's 53 years old. I think 54 now, actually. He claims that when he was in his peak, when his physical prime, he was about 5'5.5". My mom is 5'2". The fact that I even made it to 5'8" is a miracle. My older brother is in his mid-20s. He's 5'6", if you round up. He's like between 5'5" and 5'6". You know, the fact that I even got as tall as I did is a miracle. You know, my dad was still able to find a woman, though, my mom. You know,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure the reason for that is because he grew up. I mean, he's 54. He grew up in a time where, like, you could have flaws, it'd still be fine, you know?
Okay, here's going back to the exact same thing I said earlier on in the video, where I was like, where it's your chances of finding a partner in a small community that prioritizes other character traits first. Um, Again, that is a microcosm of old America. Um, that kind of thing still lives on. You just have to find it in the right place. So again, honest guy, I think you should join a church. You should find a church that you can join, in order to, not only grow closer to God, but also because it sounds like you've learned a lot about Christianity somehow, and I think that if it really sounds appealing to you, you should find a church you should join. You can join. Um, but again, like I said, you you would be able to find a microcosm of old-fashioned America in a church, you know, because they recognize, everyone has flaws, and I think that your chances would just be better, dude. You would find an actual community that values you as a person, and rather than today's, late stage postmodern capitalist society that literally just values the best of the best. If you are anything but the best of the best, you are scum. So find a church, dude.
Like, I honestly think in the 1980s, well, hold on. Actually, I don't know. You know, it would have been a combination of, it either would have been, I would be normal, or I would be the only guy not having sex in the entire school, and it would be even worse because I wouldn't have the internet to find black pill communities to relate to.
Not finding black pill communities is a net positive, bruh.
You know, but yeah, to wrap it all.
And honestly, again, if you did live in an older America, likely you would probably find someone by the time you got to college. You know, late bloomers still existed in the '80s. It's not like they were unheard of. And again, those portray. I don't know, dude. Also, more people dated in the '80s than they do now in high school, at least, because there wasn't as much pressure, I think, on kids. Uh, Kids had a lot less stuff to worry about than they do now. So I'm not even really sure what the whole less kids are dating nowadays. I don't know. I can't even begin to think about what a root cause of that is. Um, maybe pornography, but like that's the only thing that comes to mind. But like you know, I, I don't know, dude. Again, it just loops back to find a community that actually values you. And black pill kind of does, but again, it's almost like an unhealthy kind of like circle jerk where it's like, oh, circle jerk of misery. That's literally all it is. From my point of view, which is why I don't identify with them.
All up, 17 years old, kissless virgin, brown hair, green eyes, 5'8". And I was pretty much screwed the second I came out of the womb. It's just, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's hard for me to cope here. It is difficult for me to cope because, like, I'm a virgin at 17. I basically
There's a lot of those, dude. There's more than you would think.
failed at life.
17 years old saying you failed at life? Okay, dude. Yeah, sure.
I just feel that way. And people could tell me all you want. Oh, you still have time.
He does have time. You're 17 years old.
It's like virtually everybody's at least had oral sex by the time they get to my age.
Virtually everyone? Dog. Dog. Okay. I think he just has a very, very skewed outlook on things. I don't think that he really realizes how common his situation is. I think again, the overthinking, bruh. The paranoia.
I haven't even done that yet. I just
Neither have I, dude. I'm older than you are.
feel like it's over and I'm screwed. I'm tired of being in like these friend groups, at the lunch table where all these people are talking about their sexual experiences, and I'm just sitting here, not knowing, just being completely excluded from the conversation. And the more they talk about their sexual experiences and how great they were, the more I feel like just standing up, leaving, and going full hikikomori.
So do it, bruh. Honestly, um, when I was, I recently actually just finished high school. Um, and honestly, I had a friend group that was entirely made up of social rejects. And instead of talking about crap like this, we talked about it stuff we actually enjoyed. We talked about like music theory, and we talked about like what else did we talk about? We would discuss like we would talk about politics and stuff, dude. It was stuff that we actually enjoyed, and we didn't give a shit what anyone else thought. And as a result of that, we are unapologetically ourselves. Now, the problem with just be yourself, dude, and trust me, I don't fall into the blue pill shit where it's like, just be yourself, dude, bro. Because obviously, being yourself, when you say be yourself, you're not addressing. Anyway, let me drop that. You know what it means. When I say being unapologetically yourself, it's sort of a Chad mentality where it's like, I don't care what anyone else thinks about the things that I enjoy. Let's just put it that way, okay? Because in order to actually have a chance in this world, in the modern day at least, and another thing is, so a lot of these blue pill guys are freaking skinny fat and they're overweight and they're just like little man children, you know, because they don't actually put in any work. by being themselves, that means playing games all day, not going outside, eating crap. It's just pure cope. It's just pure modern day cope slop. When I'm saying unapologetically yourself, it means find something that you are genuinely interested in and that you want to put work into and work towards it. So for me, that's programming, that's music, that's politics and stuff like that. You know, we're really interested in that stuff because that is us. And so we put work into that, and as a result we have a healthy mind and outlook on things, you know. There's a difference between the my be unapologetically yourself and the blue pill be unapologetically yourself. There's a difference between them, and it's hard to verbalize, but I think you kind of get the idea just from my little rant there. So again, it all loops back to the people you surround yourself with. Find a freaking church, bro. Find a church. And find a friend group that actually values you as well, and that you can talk about stuff like this with. Okay, not stuff like this, but like things that you are interested in, things that you are genuinely interested in.
I've honestly been thinking about going hikikomori recently. I've been thinking about just like isolating myself from society because
Unhealthy thing to do.
I just feel so. I feel so embarrassed about the fact that I'm 17 and still a virgin. I really do. You know, but I want to bring this back to Christianity versus the black pill. Basically, the reason why I was thinking about this is because I've been watching ITV. Now, after a shooting where okay, so here's the situation with ITV. ITV, so basically, it's rehab room now. Basically, he was making black pill content, and somebody committed a shooting. A person who committed the shooting because they were a late age virgin. Like me, except I assume they were a bit older still. You know, but they actually went into this person after they committed the crime, and they killed themselves too. But they basically went into his YouTube and his internet usage, saw who he was subscribed to, and they saw that ITV was in there, and ITV ended up in the news and the British media, all that. So they had to take him out. They had to take him out. They were gonna take him out of out of the social media scene. If he didn't do something. So he basically completely rebranded himself, took down all his old videos, renamed himself to Rehab Room, all that. And now his video, he's posting more videos, but they're a completely different style now. They're completely different from before. But anyway, ITV, his old Black Pill videos, they were re-uploaded by a YouTuber called Bats with about 800 subscribers. And I've been watching a lot of his old videos recently, a lot of the old ITV videos, and I've just been noticing, I've just been thinking, it just makes me feel so hopeless, but I don't know how else to cope, because I'm 17, I'm still a virgin, and I've tried to go into these, other communities too on the internet with all these people, you know. Supposedly these communities have other people that are also, virgins at a later than usual age. But I swear, these communities are literally full of chads. They're full of chads. I don't know how, but these communities are literally full of chads. Like I was in the voice chat in Freedom Misato's server, and there was literally this guy talking about how a Hispanic woman groped him at a hotel. Like, that's how you know you're a decently attractive man. How when women just come up to you in public and grope you.
Okay, now that is something that I'm kind of pissed off about, honestly. A lot of these communities say, oh, incel apologetics. Specifically, now what I'm thinking about is specifically Gerby's Discord, Gerbopolis or whatever, is that there's a lot of dudes in there who are like genuine chads, and they're just like, they kind of brag about it, and it's annoying. But I mean, like, if most people in there are similar to you, and honestly, the environment, the difference in the environments is between like actual incel communities versus, you know, people like Gerber Johnson and his community is, they recognize a lot of the cold hard facts of things, but the difference is that you keep working in spite of that. Like you just gotta try to be the best you can be. And because of that, there are a lot of people who still identify with the incel communities, but they become chads. So whatever. I mean, again, it's all how you look at things.
You know, not saying that's necessarily enjoyable, but that literally happens to every other guy. And I'm the one person, I'm literally the only guy that doesn't happen to. You know, girls just stay the hell away from me. They see me on the street and they just want to throw up. You know, they see
I
me on
doubt
my
that.
YouTube videos and they just want to throw up. They get disgusted by me, you know? So how else am I supposed to cope besides watching content from other people who are like me? You know, but I was watching this content and noticing how brutal it was. It's just hard to cope with, you know? And I was just, you know, thinking about that. And then I started to wonder, like, what the hell? This is actually very similar to Christianity. Sorry, there was a bug there. It reminded me a lot of Christianity because, you know, it acknowledges human nature, it acknowledges what's wrong with the world, but it's just like it's different because, you know, it basically just tells you to just give up on love, you know, to just give up on relationships. You know, it just basically tells you all that, you know. So,
It kind of does not say that at all. There's a point in the Bible, I think it's like in Genesis, which is the first book, that says, "Be fruitful and multiply." And obviously, what that implies is finding a mate and, having relations with them so that you can create children. That's the opposite of give up on love, you know? So, dog, I think you kind of misinterpreted that a little bit. Again, find a church, dude. You will find a nice woman who you can actually relate to and who values you rather than just valuing your body or your money, you know?
and yeah, can I blame him? No, no, because I'm 17 years old. I haven't even been touched sexually by a girl, and you know, I'm gonna be honest. I just feel like giving up. You know, I just feel like giving up, and I probably will. You know, I mean, I'm 17. I mean, pretty much everybody else in my school has probably like at least kissed a girl, or a guy or somebody that they're sexually attracted to. I'm the only person that hasn't. It is over for me.
Again, I think it's more common than you think. Now, again, if this is a smaller school, it's probably more likely that you are one of the part of the minority that hasn't. Because again, it's the small community type of thing. Uh, but if you're part of a larger school, like I was, there's a lot of dudes that are just kind of like that are just like you, literally exact same position as you. Probably a lot of them are worse off than you think. Um, so yeah, I just think again, it's the uh, it's the overthinking mentality.
It is over for me. I'm ugly. I'm hideous. Girls just see me and they want to throw up. It's over. It's over. You know. And I know that people are gonna like try to bring up the whole, you know, they're gonna tell me all this, all these copes, all this shit, you know, about Christianity, you know, and they're gonna tell me, you know, that I just gotta be Christian. You know, I gotta believe in God more, you know. But I'm gonna be honest here. I feel like it just wouldn't even help, you know.
Okay, so about that, I mean, yeah, like, dude, you kind of gotta. You should convert to. You should honestly like convert to Christianity. Like, it genuinely helps you in so many ways. It helps your mindset. It and if you don't believe in an afterlife, I mean, there's nothing I can really do about that. But at the same time, you have to recognize that there's something more than this life, you know, and that's reassuring to me. Um, and again, it's not even just because of the faith, it's also the fact that you get part of a community that actually values you
But it like, cause like,
and a savior that values you as well.
if I was really
Unconditional love.
Christian, I would just kill myself. You know, I'd just be like, screw it. I'm gonna be a virgin my entire life. Women who I've never seen before glare at me on the street. I'm gonna be bullied. I'm probably gonna be bullied into suicide by the time I'm 25 anyway. You know, or in college anyway. I might as well take my own life.
Okay, dude. Why? I'm gonna finish the video just real quick.
Like that's what I would be thinking if I was Christian. That way I could get a free pass to go to heaven.
Okay, if you kill yourself, you immediately go to hell. By the way, supposedly, because at that point, you've committed murder and you aren't like forgiven of it before you die. So you yeah. Anyway, um, my vacation. Anyway, yeah, dude. I think that you overthink things. I think that you have a awful mindset that kills your soul, dude. Um, so you know, again, like you need to change that mindset. I think. Um, for a minute, I was in your shoes, honestly. Um, but like, dude, again. So yeah, that's honest guy. This video is how the black pill and Christianity are more similar than you realize. I'm gonna post a link to it in the description if you want to go watch it for yourself. Um, but yeah, I've just really been thinking about this dude. Honestly, he uploads basically every day, talking about almost kind of the same thing all the time. But you know, I feel for him. I really do. But I think that he's got some issues that he really needs to work out. Um, so yeah, that's just my response on this video. Sorry for making it so freaking long. But I mean, you probably sit on the computer all day anyway, so 47 minutes is probably nothing to you. Um, but yeah, so that's all from me.